An adult experiences orgasm once aroused by stimulating the phallus or erectile sex organ. The penis and the clitoris are anatomically equivalent. The sex organs, penis and clitoris, have two corpora cavernosa that fill with blood when the mind is engaged with thoughts of an explicitly erotic nature. The kind of stimulation that might lead to orgasm is highly specific and involves massaging the erectile organ, or more specifically the blood flow within the phallus. The phallus must be stimulated from arousal through to climax by massaging the erectile organ in a firm and continuous rhythm. Regardless of orientation, men orgasm through intercourse, masturbation and fellatio. The stimulation that causes male orgasm is always very similar. A man's arousal, in the form of an erection, also gives him a clear indication of the anatomy he wants to stimulate. A man massages the corpora cavernosa, which are inside shaft of the penis. A penile erection is much more visually obvious and more easily achieved than clitoral tumescence. There is no precedent or justification for female orgasm. Other female animals do not appear to orgasm at any time, and female orgasm has no role in reproduction. The only precedent relates to male orgasm, which is required for reproduction because it triggers ejaculation of sperm. Male animals use an insertion method to fertilize the egg within the female's body. So female orgasm can only be logically explained in terms relative to male orgasm. The same anatomy is involved, the phallus. Female masturbation mimics male thrusting. A woman emulates the male role in intercourse by thrusting with her pelvis and clenching her buttocks. She lies on her front with her hands between her legs because this is the best position to facilitate thrusting and to enable her to use her pelvic muscles to squeeze the clitoral organ. She massages the corpora cavernosa inside the internal clitoral organ. A man masturbates by holding his erect penis between his fingers and pulling the skin up and down the shaft. A woman's masturbation technique does not feel so explicitly sexual or genitally focused. A responsive woman pushes down over her vulva while thinking of an erotic scenario. It is a very personal and private experience. When a woman is stimulating herself, her actions are dictated by subconscious instinct rather than conscious thought. A responsive woman has little awareness of the specific anatomy she is stimulating. She could not see easily even if she wanted to look. Her focus is on what is happening in her mind. Kinsey reported the external anatomy including the clitoral glands and labia that women stimulate. In fact, it is the internal clitoral organ that a woman stimulates because of the location of the corpora cavernosa. She pushes the skin down over the top of the glands. As arousal builds, she presses down into the tissue either side of her labia. Anyone who can orgasm should be able to describe not only the anatomy but also the kind of stimulation that leads to orgasm. Most women are unaware of the location and function of the clitoris. Cunnilingus and a vibrator are both very different to manual stimulation of the clitoral organ. Some women say they rub the clitoral glands itself. Although men masturbate by pulling the skin at the end of the penis back and forth over the glands, this action simultaneously massages the corpora cavernosa within the shaft of the penis. A similar action on the clitoral glands does not massage the corpora cavernosa within the internal organ, which is key to achieving orgasm. The hands are the most natural masturbation tool and everything else is a gimmick. The massaging motion over the glands is similar for both sexes. The main difference is that a woman doesn't have a shaft to stimulate. Her technique cannot therefore mimic intercourse as closely as a man's can. A woman uses a humping motion to thrust her vulva against her fingers. Some women do rub their vulva against a soft object such as a stuffed toy or a pillow. This type of stimulation is not sufficiently explicit to cause orgasm. Immediately before reaching orgasm, we may cease stimulation. Just like the shove penny game at the fair, we are nearly there and just a little effort can now cause us to orgasm. Like waiting for a wave to reach us and then riding the wave onto the beach, we wait for our climax to arrive. Once the surge of orgasm starts, we apply firm pressure to have the satisfaction of thrusting as we massage our sex organ and enjoy the pelvic contractions. We must be able to reliably obtain the stimulation needed for orgasm. A man can obtain the stimulation of intercourse, regardless of a partner's willingness. Male masturbation and fellatio both mimic intercourse and involve a similar massaging stimulation of the shaft of the penis. All forms of female stimulation by a partner depend on a lover's willingness. A woman cannot force anyone, especially a man, to provide any form of stimulation. The sensations of being penetrated do not cause orgasm. Orgasm is not achieved by prodding at our anatomy. Stimulation of the prostate gland causes male ejaculation, but women do not have a prostate. Orgasm is achieved primarily by massaging the blood flow within the erectile organ. The effectiveness of such a technique depends chiefly upon pelvic movements and rhythmic contractions of the large muscles, the gluteal muscles, in the buttocks, and of the muscles, chiefly adductors, which are located near the front and inner surfaces of the thigh.